All right.
Hello, welcome everybody to 228
Oh,
Death from Above versus Aces Wild, 3rd Battalion Black Aces, Div D, Week 3. I'm here with my co-host, Violent Blue from Clan Widowmaker.
hello.
I'm actually excited for this one. Like you said, while everything was muted in Tournament TV, this is a first and second place Div D match. So the fight for first is on.
That's right. Both of these teams have played two of their matches, and they are both at the top with those wins.
And I know 228 has a lot of, and I mean a lot, of good talent in their higher ranks, obviously, with 228 Blackwatch defeating Black Omen last night, so they have a lot of help from some heavy hitter players, as well as Aces Wild does have a Div C? B or C team? Aces Wild has a good team as well. Not as great as 228's guys, but I mean, they still have a lot of good pilots as well, so.
They do, and it looks like they've brought some newer players into their Division D team, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with them.
Let me just fix my. There we go.
Looks like we've got Hectic One standing in the team captain's uniform on Aces Wild 3rd Battalion. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot as the captain of 228th Death from Below.
Yeah, when I was reading in the chat for the showcasters, it was saying Seabiscuit said that they didn't want to, because he rose Death from Above, basically from Div D into Div B where it is now, and they didn't want to kind of take the Swamp Fox logo, so they kept it as Death from Above and made these guys Death from Below. And as I think Live said in the chat, who basically runs all this stuff, is 228 likes to attack from every direction, which is definitely ruthless and rude in my mind. So you want to run everybody over the rules before the drops and the maps?
Currently, we are dropping in, we have 5 drops today. The first drop starts out with the tonnage at 575 to 625. So you can get some nice big mechs in that one. We're going for Conquest on Tourmaline. And Team 1 is, Team 1 in this case is 228.
That is right. So I guess before we start, we should get looking into the map ban for all these guys. Which means I guess I should pull that up. And have her ready to go.
Currently waiting for, looks like we've got mechs locked on 228 and Aces Wild currently moving their mechs around, still looking for a couple of mechs.
Just hassling the teams to get a little bit organized for the map ban. Ooh, and we have 228 Death from Above in already, taking away Terra Therma. It was notified to us that they did this ahead of time under agreement, so they know what they're already playing. They're just doing this again for us for show. So Aces Wild getting rid of Viridian Bog. 228 getting rid of Alpine Peaks, which is
That's okay. We like it when they humor us and go through those motions all over again.
And Rubelite being the last to be banned by Aces Wild, leaving River City as the map drop 4 and 5.
Excellent. So map drops 4 and 5 will be River City Conquest, and again the 480 ton max on that.
It'd be interesting to see what they do on River City, since that map has been definitely changed to be a lot more fair for both teams, as well as they did move the center point for it in domination to a better place in the rocks, in the water. So
Yeah, I think that's a really good move. The other thing that they did a few patches ago was they actually added ramps to a few areas. River City was one of those maps that you could get, if you didn't have jump jets, you really could get caught with a long journey up to the next platform. So I'm really glad that they did that. It really, I felt, was a little bit unfair for some of those bigger bigger mechs without the jump
Oh, it was
jets.
definitely disadvantageous for one side, which definitely sucked. And if you wanted to keep it fair, you had to go way out of your
All
way.
right.
Hello, welcome everybody to 228
Oh,
Death from Above versus Aces Wild,
That
3rd
is
Battalion
me.
Black Aces.
There we go.
It was quiet for so long. Bromech. Teams players list. Man, it's on Reddit. Does nobody read?
all right. Okay, so Team 1 is currently locked. We're currently waiting for Team 2. We're still under tonnage here. Just sending them a reminder that the tonnage minimum is 575. Full teams off. Let's do our double check here. Here we go. And they're just doing a little bit of changing around. Team 1 has, in these games, the home team, Team 1, is required to lock their lances in to their starting locations first. And then Team 2 can lock their locations. Team 1 cannot go back and change those once they see what Team 2 is going to do.
That is correct, yes. Or as we did as D4, brought the wrong mechs and locked, because we forgot it was which week we were playing, and then played in the wrong mechs, which still worked out for us. But
well, as long as you get those tonnage, the tonnage right, and you don't come in an illegal mech, I suppose that's okay.
yeah, which 228 Blackwatch did last night in our third drop. They brought the Nightgyre hero that is not allowed till week 4, and they had to redo drop 4.
Oh,
So it was actually
that is
it was actually interesting though, because 228 Blackwatch had a better match the second time around than the first one, and so they technically beat Black Omen 4 matches to 2. I mean, one was illegal, but it didn't change anything. So
a little bit of a rematch, but you have to play that out and make sure that that team wasn't at an unfair advantage.
that's right. As well as if nobody watched the earlier streams from MWO Leagues 1, Phoenix Legion did lose to Russian Jade Falcon. Or am I freaking delusional? Yes.
Well, I don't know if you're delusional or not, but if you check those stats system, I'm sure you'll find the
It's
truth.
Too close. I believe Russian Jade Falcon won 3-2 against Phoenix Legion. They were just down a few mechs, as well as Furia beat Majestic 12 3-2 as well, but had a lot less mechs on the board.
Apparently it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's
Right,
right.
system?
And I see both teams are set, so
Yep. We have both teams set, so are you ready to launch
I'm
their
ready to
system?
rock and roll.
All right, we are in Conquest Tourmaline. Here we go.
I guess I should remind everybody this is a 5-minute delay on all competitive matches, just in case. We do want no stream sniping in these matches.
Always a pleasure to get that spinny wheel locking on these maps. And they are allowed locking weapons on this map, and as well as strikes.
It's nice to have strikes in every drop. As
It
228
is.
is great with strikes. I know Death from Above definitely utilizes a lot of strikes, so we'll see if Death from Below takes a little bit of their cue and tactics in using a lot of strikes. And looking at the run list on 228 Death from Below, they have the Direwolf Prime, Spider 5V, Vulcan 5T, Direwolf Ultraviolet, United 2A, Linebacker Prime, the Bastion A, which I blood asp, sorry, and the Annihilator 2A.
The Bastion?
Bastion.
Really? Okay, well, let's go with... well, if that's your pet name for it, that's just fine, but we'll call it the Blood Ass.
Yeah. What do you have on the Aces Wild side?
Checking out Aces Wild, we have Warhawk Prime, a Cyclops, a Summoner, a Knight Gear or Jeer, Annihilator, Warhawk again, 2 Warhawk Primes in there, Spider, and that Mad Cat B. devastating little mech. That'll be fun to
Yeah, and
watch.
the Ultraviolet and the Annihilator on 228 Death from Above side are in pain already. Although Kuya Morphine's still at 87%. Let me zip over there and see what is going on.
We have Theta going right away to 228. That is interesting. That was a fast run in there by
Oh, that was a
that spider.
headshot.
Toperky picked that
Headshot
up.
on Kuya Morphine at 86% going down.
No! Yes. Oh. And a direwolf. That is a hefty price to pay in the first minute and a half in a game. Not even
That
a minute
is
in.
insane that quickly, yeah. I mean, Kurathaeus is in definitely bad shape at 62%. Still got all his weapons, I believe, but that is interesting right off the hop. Whiskey's still in decent shape. Nothing open yet, but armor is red in the center torso.
Yep, Ace is going straight for the fight, not actually capping anything. 2 sliver caps out to 228 so far, so they've started the
I
count.
mean, this might be a game where they want to cap like hard now with losing that direwolf. I mean, Ace's Wild is not moving, and they can see that, but you want to be in...
And Drax turning Theta with that spider, being watched over by Hectic and the Cyclops.
Although 228 here, looks like they're making a push to come out, trying to take out Alex and Kelby Besky in the Warhawks Annihilator. Although it's Stella Starslayer going down in the other Direwolf Prime for 228. Jalek still in bad shape though.
Oh, that is costly. They have 3 down now on 228's side. Got some good positions. Ace's Wild is positioning themselves around the map, picking up that one Conquest Point Theta, but letting them carry the other 2. It's early in the game. They don't have to worry about caps at this point, but both teams just picking a position and shooting long range at the other side. In the back, we can see we've got one of the mechs from 228 still going out for that cap, moving over to Sigma, along with mech that from Ace's Wild that's just moved out of position there.
Yeah, I find it kind of interesting where, I mean, they know where Whiskey is. Maybe not Chortles, where I'm sitting at in my view, but I don't know why they haven't pushed yet. They could finish off 2 mechs right here, right now, even in the bad shape that they are. I mean, because they are slowly moving, but they could be full force into this central area here to finish them.
Oh, I've got... I'm just looking at Zedlock moving up here behind TX Ace and Hectic and the Cyclops. He's a little vulnerable in that little Vulcan. We'll have to see what he decides to do when he encounters these 2
yeah,
mechs.
with the Mad Cat too in this. Oh yeah.
2 mechs shooting at him. He's nimble. If I were him, I wouldn't necessarily want to take on those 2 big boys.
Not a fight that you're gonna have a good time with, especially with other.
Oh, and now he's got a 3rd mech, the Summoner, moving in there. So that's definitely, you don't want 3 mechs firing at you.
Yeah, and Ace's Wild taking.
I'd be moving out of there.
Aces Wild taking the 3 cap now over 228's 1. This is not a good place to be for 228 Death from Below. And Zenith, I don't know what he has going on here, just trying to pass the lanes around Black 6 and TX Ace, but said he is.
Yeah, Ace's Wild staying pretty chilly, repositioning now over here in the back. Chortles, Whiskey, and LOD Ghost. I don't think they're seeing. Think they're seeing that that other mech, the light that's moving over to Gamma here. I don't think they're too concerned about him. That Spider Drax, he's just moving toward more of a capping position. So they're letting him go and do his thing while they remain in the center. Oh, Whiskey Tango taking some bad shots in that Annihilator, down to 42%.
Yeah, it looks like he has lost a shoulder. Sorry, I already had him on here. He has lost a shoulder. There's a tough break where he is.
Yeah, he's cored right now. He's lost a side torso and an arm. His other torso's in bad shape.
Strike.
And he's in a bad position too. He's got that one little rock foundation there to shield him. He's moving back, trying to look for a little help from his teammates. He's just in a bad position right now. Unfortunately, he's trying to get a few shots in on Hectic and that Cyclops, but he is 2 shots away.
Yeah, his CT is not in a good position right now.
Yeah, try to get some range there. Use the range he's got in those AC2s, the ER mediums.
Did get the sneak out of there, so did get lucky.
Yeah, he did. He's got over to the side. So now if he could just get a position where he can get a few shots with the remaining half of his weapons. Oh, he's got some bad views going on there.
Enemy forces have Sigma.
Oh, it was a decent position on that strike, but it did not hit Hetik in that Schleppnir. That is a tough one for 228.
Aces Wild using their advantage of having more mechs and basically taking over those 4 cap points. And they are slowly moving into the lead here for cap points. But again, they've got half the mechs down on 228. So it's a nice position to be in. Just staying chilly, taking some shots. Everybody's taking up some safe positions. They've still got their spider in the back there, taking some caps for them, making sure that they don't lose on that.
Yeah, they still have a decent cap, or how close the cap is right now. I mean, Aces Wild does have the cap advantage, and easily with 8 mechs still alive compared to 4, they will definitely keep the cap advantage if they are paying attention to it.
Yeah, and those mechs in good shape. Sometimes what you'll see is a team that has 4 down, and the other team will actually have more mechs up, but those mechs will really be damaged. In this case, it's really not going that way. It's looking really, really good right now for Aces Wild.
Yeah, LOD Ghost going down. Chorto's here trying to make a peek at Keldebeski. That is going to drive me nuts.
Well, that's okay. It's just one of us.
Yeah. Yeah, with the Schleppnir coming in to help Kelbeski, Chortles and Zenith Lock and the Vulcan linebacker might not be here for long.
We have gained Epsilon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remaining 3 mechs over on 228's side, huddling there together. Got the Vulcan in the background. He is in the worst shape at 46% and taking shots from
now.
3 sides there, and down he
Yeah, the
goes.
Warhawk and Jalek and the Annihilator closing in. Chortles here is... He can run because doesn't have fast mechs behind him, but I don't know for how long. As well as that spider. Tofurky and the spider is being chased.
They have resource point Gamma.
Or shot at least.
Yeah, so just playing it out to the end here as they hunt down these last 2 mechs.
Yeah.
Finish it off. Chortles running away here, getting sandwiched by that spider and the Warhawk from Aces, and he's just trying to get out of there.
This is not a good drop for 228 to start.
But there is nowhere for him to go. There's just nowhere for him to go.
He's just being nice, trying to give the spider a 1v1.
Let
him 1v1, guys.
Farm a little
Come
bit
on.
here. Yeah.
Kelbeski not having it with the Warhawk coming in there to help finish him off.
Oh, that spider eating him, and now come the Warhawk Prime coming in here. Keldebeski coming in to just take some nasty shots. Worst risk now is actually a little team damage there as they get anxious to finish this off. Down he goes. We're left with Tofurky.
Yeah, Tofurky left in the spider, and he has... Who's coming after him? The Mad Cat 2C.
And with 700 versus 474, 4 caps to Aces, this is almost a done deal here as they chase him down. So he's running away. He's basically just lengthening the amount of time that he has to experience the pain in
TX
this
Ace is
game.
aiming to get to that cap point before we're done here, and that'll be a win for Aces Wild. 7-1. That was a good job by Aces Wild there to not rush that corner with the assaults and hold the firing line. Like I said, that first Kuyomorphing getting destroyed in Ultraviolet with the headshots, that was a tough one.
Devastating. Yeah, just devastating.
Yeah, run me through those numbers. Yikes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, some gorgeous numbers. Jalek with the high score for the game, 804 in that Annihilator. Keldebeski, Alex, TX, the whole team doing their thing. TX getting caught in the Mad Cat a little bit down on the low side here, but his teammates making up for that. Over on the other side with 228, what have you got there?
228 had some decent... I mean, Tofurky did his job, capping some good points. And LOD Ghost did some good work in that blood ass. But yeah, those Annihilators and the Ultraviolet didn't have a chance to put off the damage they needed to. So at least maybe they could have gotten rid of 1 or 2 of the assaults on the other side. Because lots of those lots of those assaults were still in decent shape, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So let me...
I think, I think at a certain point when you see that big mech go down, maybe something kind of switches over in your brain and you start to think about the objective. What am I going to get here? Are we really going to win by one of our big mechs has gone down? Are we going to be winning by kills, or are we going to go to objective, which is conquest? And I think there may have been I'm wondering if there was a little bit of indecision there. Some of the mechs were like, well, we've got to stay in this and take down some of their mechs just to get it a little bit evened out. And, some of the lighter mechs going around saying, okay, let's get some caps, but it just really did not work out.
Yeah, because I mean, looking at the damage here, Drax Dagon in the Spider was only at 61, Jalek in the Annihilator at 55%, the Warhawk still above 70, the Schleppnir still above 70. Aw, are you hungry, you grumpy cuss? Yeah, you butt face. The Night Gyre, 98%, and the Mad Cat 2C barely touched, both at 98%. Like, that was not a good drop for 228.
All right, so both teams remain in place. We're still going for, we completely switched things up here. We're going over to Domination, and this is going to be on Caustic. Nice and hot. We're going to make sure that they've got some nice daylight to fight in, and the tonnage requirements go way down to a max of 375.
Yeah, bringing up the very light mechs coming into this one. Yeah, I got everything nice.
I'll leave that up there.
I guess I'm being let know. Pay attention in the chat. Live will be doing, or somebody will be doing, some giveaways in the chat, as well as I will be doing one right before the interviews for 500 MC. So pay attention. Be awake in the chat,
Nice.
people. Say hi. Say hello.
All right, so waiting for both teams to settle into their new weight classes. Both of them are, I see they're both sitting at 375, so they've got their mech set. Now it's simply a matter of getting teams locked in. So we can see Team 1, 228, Death from Below, is locked into their lances going into the Alpha and Charlie starting positions. Now we'll see Team 2 lock into that, and then we will launch into our next map.
Yeah, so I'm looking at 228 is in first place right now with Aces Wild in second. And basically the only difference is 80 mech kills to 73, so Aces Wild isn't very far behind, and at this point they are already moving up. So we'll see how the rest of these drops pan out for them. Yeah, one team locked waiting for Aces Wild. Would you zip it over there? You noisy bugger.
You little cat sound effects there in the background, my
waiting
friend.
for dinner. That's what she's waiting for, and I don't care. Her master feeder is not here, whereas my nice, beautiful dog sitting behind me is nice, quiet, and sleepy. So
Both teams are set. We're locked and launching into Caustic for our next match. Let's see if 228 can pick things up, and definitely, again, I think that losing that direwolf was just devastating in the first part. Never a good feeling to lose one of your assaults in the first minute. But a beautiful shot. Did you see who took him down?
I cannot remember now. But I believe it was ERPPC fire from one of the Warhawks. And I believe it was still 2 shots. So 2 amazing shots that did it.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Alright, so let me know what you got on the Aces Wild side.
Awesome. I will do that as soon as we have a... There we go. I love all the commands here. Over on the Aces Wild side, we've got the Arctic Cheetah, the Vulcan, an Orion, another Vulcan. So 2 Vulcans, 2 Orions, a quick draw. Well, now 2 Arctic Cheetahs as well, and Piranhas. A little bit of duplication over on this side. Let's see if we see them pairing up a little bit. What have you got over there on
228
228
side, we got a Storm Crow, a linebacker, as well as a Stormcrow Prime, because the first one is a D, sorry. Commando 1D, which is an interesting choice. Vulcan, the Piranha 1, Tofurky and a Crab, and Stella and a linebacker red line for this match.
Wow, look at the aggression here. Aces Wild just moving straight into the Caldera and across, going straight for the kill, not waiting for 228 at all, just getting in over there. Braving the heat of that central location. It's pretty nasty in there.
It is definitely. It's still a hot map in general,
And
so teams got to be aware of the mechs that they use.
we see 228 taking up some good positions using those rocks. Aces Wild moving back a little bit. They've now taken up some positions behind the rocks, getting some cover.
Yeah, 228 popping a UAV that just got dropped too, so that is a...
Yeah, that went down really fast. We can see another
Yeah,
UAV up there.
Smart move. It's good to have UAVs up so you can see, oh, there's 2 battles going on. Oh, they are just getting to work here.
Oh, yeah.
Although poor Stella and that linebacker will be definitely focused. Yeah, the red line having all those missile hard points.
Yeah, they split up for a little bit, but you can see now the Aces Wild all moving back together. 228 still with a couple of mechs. That Vulcan, Commando moving in. So both teams moved apart and then split up a little bit for some individual brawls and then moved right back together again, covering each other. We've got this Piranha TX Ace going around the back here, trying to pick up a little bit of a surprise shot on the back of that linebacker, and he does it. Karathas taking some damage there.
Beautiful strike by Aces Wild in this, as well as another one being dropped right in front of Tex Ace. Oh yeah, strike taking Karathas down, as well as Zethlog.
Both teams taking huge damage here. 3 mechs down on each side. You can see a lot of injured mechs out on that field.
Yeah, not too many in good shape now, except for the Commando, only because he's hard to fire at.
We've got those smaller mechs for 228 on the outside, just wreaking havoc on a few of the larger ones from Aces Wild. I have no idea which way this is going to go. It could go either way. Critical mechs, but 228 looking a little healthier. So let's see if they actually...
One mech left in Aces Wild.
Can bring the... Oh yes! Wow. And there you go. That aggression coming in from Aces Wild, and 228 meeting it head on and sticking together and just wreaking damage on them. My god, that was nice. Yeah,
I don't understand the first split at the beginning, but it seemed to pan out for them. It kept the other 5 of those guys busy, while 228 focused on the 3 Aces Wild.
I almost felt like you had some of the faster mechs that were just so eager to get into the battle going in and pushing right through and maybe even around to the side a little bit, and that getting them sort of into some brawls that they really couldn't just duck out of. They really wanted to address that, but then realizing that there was a little bit of a split there and there was a reposition. I'm wondering if they were calling that internally and saying, all right, let's shore it up, let's get together here, we're too split. Because even a small split like that in a battle that is this quick, depending on what your strategy is, if they're trying to focus targets, then you really want the group together, focusing on those targets together.
Yeah, we'll take a better look at those those damage numbers right now in the comp cast. I mean, looking at some like Black 6 and that Onion 2C was 700 damage. Like, those are some extremely high numbers. I mean, those Onions do a lot of work, a lot of damage if they're piloted properly. The rest of the damage looking pretty good for Aces Wild.
Yeah, that is really, really nice. Just again, all over, like, again, you see this sort of even damage all over on
the 228 side.
on,
Yeah, a little bit
yeah,
more components destroyed on their side as well, with the 5, 5, and 6, as compared to the 1, 1, 3, and 6 on the Aces Wild side. So they did a definitely good job on focus fire, taking out components, structures that are need to be taken out. So definitely a good job by them. Good fun
yeah,
brawl.
definitely. Yeah, really interesting. Those last 60 seconds. Oh, and those last 60 seconds can take them down. I'm just gonna have a moment here. We're gonna switch sides, which means I
So
will
Aces
get.
defeated. Where you just start kicking them.
That'd be. There we go. And I will move whiskey down here to the bottom, along with friends.
Yeah, whatever makes it easiest. Yeah, there was quite a bit of team damage in this one as well. That might be an issue for Aces Wild, as the Arctic Cheetah, Keldabesky, and Aces Alex in the quick draw on the Arctic Cheetah Prime did 62 and 66 team damage, as well as the Onion 2C doing 29. Although in comparison to his 700 damage, that's not so bad. But if they were to critical components and areas like a back or something, that would definitely have hindered their performance in the match. So, I mean, LOD Ghost with the Piranha with 25 on the 228 side, as well as Tofurky and the Crab with 30. That's not so bad.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what mechs they bring in the second map. They've got basically same map, same objective, but there were a lot of duplicates in Aces Wild that time. So they're going to be definitely, they have to mix it up quite a bit in the second match. So I'm curious to see what they take, how they respond. When the match is that fast, it's really difficult to figure out what might have made a big difference there. It was very, very close. It was very, very fast, all-out brawl. So now what do you do? Do you take the long view? Do you pull your team out and get a little bit more distance? Or do you basically go back in and just do the brawl better and say, you know what, we need to focus our targets more?
No, it's definitely a case of, do you want to trap them into coming onto your side where you got a firing line to hold them and take them out as they come in, or do you try to find better brawl mechs? But if it doesn't work the first time, it's always questionable if it'll work again. So good job by 228. They dropped 2 for that one. I always question the Stormcrow, because I have been questioned why I brought Stormcrows back in MRBC Season 10. I can always do great damage with it, but when you start playing teams that know where its curses are, they would hit you where it hurt and take you out. And some of the Stormcrows is decently easy to do that, so you got to be very careful.
True. That mech is really, it has some really great builds. And we have both sides set here, so we're going to launch it in to our match now. Love the Stormcrow. I used to pilot my Stormcrow with Streak 6s, and it was just devastating. Some of the changes, though, with ECM and tag made it completely nerfed it for some of the battles, so I stopped bringing it in. But there are just a lot of mechs in that weight class that are really, really gorgeous mechs to pilot, so I've kind of gone away from that one.
That's 12. There we go. Let's go back to the match. Alright. So let's see what the difference is this time around. Oh, and right off the bat, I see 228 with 2 Griffin, 2 Ends, 2 Assassins, a 23 and a 21. Another Vulcan, which should be their last one, I believe, unless it's per drop? I can't remember now. Another Commando, a Quick Draw, and another Stormcrow Prime by Wixie Tango Fox. What do you have on the Aces Wild side?
One of my favorite mechs, the Assassin, the Assassin 23, 2 Assassin 23s and an Assassin 21. That I love those mechs. Those are great little mechs. They're very maneuverable. We also see the linebacker. I think they're going for maneuverability here. Linebacker, a heavy with lots of great mobility, and Wolfhound and a Commando. So I'm thinking, yeah, triple linebacker, triple assassin, Wolfhound Commando. That says to me that they're going to be very mobile here. Assassin 23, the 21s, probably the splat builds on those. There are some possibilities for some longer range
Yeah,
weapons.
I'm seeing a lot of SERMs again on the
but,
board here, so it looks like they want to brawl. Both sides dropping some UAVs to get better position. That might be a good strike. Oh, super close strike. Almost hit Alex. Dead on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and just checking out these assassins firsthand, I can see the SRM Bill Hectic in his 23 with the triple SRM 6 plus
And
Artemis.
I don't like where Ace's Wild is here. They are down, kind of stuck too far together. Although they're making a move here. They're pushing on the far side of 228 into the split Stormcrow Griffin, and damn it, good draw.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've got Ace's Wild here taking. It seems like they've got lower ground and they're taking fire from all sides
It was a bit
here.
of an oddball push. I feel like they should have pushed high and stayed high and circled, but they kind of went low. As now you can see some of the team scrambling to come back in.
True. 228 taking advantage of those rocks, and Ace's Wild wanting a little bit of that cover for themselves. Just a great brawl going on here. And it's just hard to see. They're all just scrambling around with their 1v1s. It looks like they're going straight for the brawl again on this. We've got a strikeout in the middle there, and that's going to be a tough one for a few mechs.
Yeah, I don't know if that was how friendly that strike
wow.
was, but self-destruction. As well as Kalbaleski going down.
Was that his strike, or was that
the
an
self-destruction was
overheat
an
on
overheat. I don't know if
Awesome.
how much...
Okay.
Putting strikes in that much when you're brawling that close is a bit risky.
Yeah, you're seeing again each side. This is a fast and nasty brawl. They're going down. We've got 3 down on both sides, so they're going to leave us guessing here. I think to the very end.
I do not like what Black 6 is holding back in that linebacker. You need to be sharing armor. Sorry, not armor. Especially being at 87%. You can see him, like Tex Ace was in there hard with the Assassin 21. And that is, I mean, he probably had good lines on everybody, but you want to share some of that armor, keep some of your guys alive, keep some more weapons in the game.
Definitely. We're down to the Chortles in that commando at 53% versus the assassin and 2 linebackers. And that's just a deadly combination. That assassin's a nasty little light killer. But if Chortles... is he legged? I'm just looking at his movement here. I see him. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, he's dropping down here. He's going to try and get some distance. He knows that the linebackers are relatively fast. I was wondering if he was going to try and get some distance, and the answer to that is no. He basically sees he's got 3 mechs against him.
Yeah, there's not a lot you could do with that one. Those 2 very healthy mechs would be no good for him, especially because they're both really fast.
And it goes the other way.
I mean, Ace's Wild did bring a heavy drop deck to brawl with.
Yes. Definitely, and that seems to have worked in their advantage.
If you look at those numbers, they got some good numbers on their side, whereas 228 just didn't have the focus fire in killing off the mechs right at the beginning of the match. But
yeah, again, there's so much chaos going in here. You might have 2 mechs on one, but things can really quickly go sideways when you lose 1 mech and the other team brings 1 in. So we're not seeing these sort of focused firing lines coming in or death ball. We're basically seeing an all-out crazy brawl. All right, let's take it out there. We're now moving on to our next change in maps and tonnage here. We're moving over to the maps that were chosen by map elimination, both teams coming down to River City. So we're going to move over to River City and we go back to Conquest. This moves up to a 480 ton limit for the teams. And so again, it'll be interesting. They can't go as heavy as they did during that first round. So we'll have a look at. I'm really curious to see what they bring
Yeah, I'm
here
looking at these
on
damage
this
numbers.
one.
Yeah, oh man, Kel Debeski with 96 team damage, 34 by Hectic and the other assassin.
No, that must. So yeah, some hefty team
Very
damage with the
substantial
strikes.
team damage. Yeah, 228 with not so bad numbers. 37 in the other assassin. 828 in the quick draw being the next highest, and 16. Not so bad. 96 is pretty high. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's maybe strike as well as some missiles, or if it was just all missiles, but just you can't shoot your friendlies.
No, you can't shoot your friendlies, but the total team damage there, which we also like to call total drinks managed, because afterwards, if you have that high damage on your team, you just might need to buy a few rounds.
Yeah, that is a lot of. Eesh.
All right, we are moving over. Let me get River City on that map. Excellent. All right, so again, we are on Conquest. We're going back to Conquest and River City. Again, talking about River City in the beginning and some of the changes that have happened on this map. Some more ramps coming in to make it a little bit more even for mechs that don't have the jump jets. You can actually move into positions much easier with those ramps. That they came out a few months ago, and I think everybody, except for the jump jet mechs, heaved a sigh of relief seeing them, because sometimes you were just caught on a long walk on that map trying to get into your team if they were
Well,
in
it
the wrong
definitely
place.
needed to happen to make the map a little bit more fair to both sides. It was I think a lot of the community was giving a Hail Mary for that change to happen, something to happen. So it definitely, I'm glad it happened at some point. So
still a great map. It's interesting, but you'll still see a lot of different strategies on there. Obviously there's the Citadel strategy and gathering around, but you'll also see people playing over in the garden and up top. It's quite an interesting map. There's a lot you can do with it. We have a Hectic set. We have Whiskey Tango Foxtrot set. We are going to launch into this map with both teams, and which to this point, I don't know about you, System, they're looking pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, it's been pretty even so far. Both basically going 1-1 to 1. So we will see if they split these again, or if 228 comes back to win the next two. So I don't think any team has a super great advantage at this point with the way 228 came in and brawled in the second one, as well as having a decent brawl in the third one. So we'll see if Aces Wild can hold up to strong strategies and keep their win streak going. Oh, look at the pretty map. The pretty city on fire.
All green. All green it is.
My apartment's been hit. It's no good. But I will run you through what 228 has brought on their side. They got... Where are they? I got them on here. Got a Wolfhound 2, Mad Cat 2C, Quick Draw, another Wolfhound, 2 other Mad Cat 2Cs, and a Dragon. So they split. They got all 3 Wolfhounds out of the way, all 3 Marauders out of the way, and then the sweet Dragon 5 in and the Quick Draw. Tell me what you got on the wild side.
And we're looking at a real mixed bag here coming in from the Black Aces. We've got the Piranha, the Summoner, the Mist Lynx, the Blood Ass, the Mad Cat, Bushwhacker, Arctic Wolf, and 2 Mad Cats. That's the only duplicate mechs we've got there. So really interesting mix over here on this side.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to bring those piranhas to give some more weight to bring some assault mechs.
Enemy forces have Sigma.
Yeah, Hectic with a good position here in the summoner. Yeah, having those two Mad Cat 2Bs might be very advantageous to the Ace's Wild side, as well as Jalek in the Blood Asp. See if Drax Dagon. Yeah, I don't think Drax Dagon's not going to have anybody shooting at him. He's going to be able to take Theta no problem.
Yeah, I'm really wondering what Hectic's got in that summer. You figure that's the
I would
PPC
assume so,
build?
because he's going to put fire down range. Although
He's got a
these
nice
Wolfhounds
position there.
might be in a bad position here, coming right into 3 assaults as well as a Piranha and a Summoner. They're in a bad place right now. They were going to have to get out of here quick, unless they have some secret strategy. Or they could run tunnel! Do it. Run the tunnel, guys.
Run the tunnel! We've got 5 mechs coming in here over 228. Taking up the... moving in toward the Citadel. And then pushing toward the back. They've picked up... it's interesting. I'm seeing them... I'm kind of wondering here. We've got a Dragon going over for the cap. Oftentimes you do not see these bigger mechs going out for the caps. That's usually left to these smaller,
Yeah, I assume these
faster
3
mechs.
guys were meant to go take Gamma quick, and then they soon realized that most of the team is here, if not realizing now that the whole team is here. So 228 needs to either make a mad push for the caps, or they need to get their butts over here to back up their Wolfhounds, because this could end quickly here if the mad...
It could. If I were those Wolfhounds, I'd be second guessing. They're gonna hope that if their bigger mechs come in, they can kind of have a little bit of a sandwich effect. But they're both in the water on low ground, and they're sticking together, which is great. But unfortunately, Tofurky paying a price back there for being separated from the team. And now we see those Wolfhounds just booking it out of there,
I don't know if it's...
moving toward their team and taking shots as they go in a very, very bad way.
I mean, this might be a good place to be. You can see Chortles and them pulling up into a good position now to head up those assaults who don't have backup as they are chasing those Wolfhounds, but they're going to have to come in fast and hard as you can see that Arctic Cheetah and Summoner turn around, trying to put more focus fire on 228 here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it takes a little time. Again, speaking of ramps, this particular area, those mechs had to go around to the far right of Gamma and then walk up there. In the meantime, Ace's Wild is having a chance to shoot down on them, pick them off in the back.
Yeah, this is a bad place to be for 228.
And just get some extra
They
damage
got hit
on
by
them.
a deadly strike. I know it hit 2 of them. It hit Demento and it hit LOD Ghost, as well as their Dragon just trying to come back into the fight now. So coming out of this position was a bad place to be for 228 when you're trying to rush out onto that airstrip when Ace's Wild has a lot of the better shooting positions, better firing lines.
Yeah, and this is going to be all about the kills again, as the caps are fairly even and both teams are just up here battling it out. And we've got some really bad damage. 228 taking really bad damage here down to their last 2 mechs. Some really some damage, bad damage out on Ace as well, but they can afford to move those mechs into the back and push forward their stronger mechs and let them take the damage now. And that's the end. 228 going down. It's not going to cap out. It is going to Ace's Wild the win for this one.
Yeah, it's a tough one from 228.
Yep. And they'll just have to even up those caps by popping one of them, and they will be done.
Yeah, a little bit of more quick movement with those Marauder 2Cs would have helped a lot, getting them up to that battle a little bit quicker, but I don't know. Like you said, that ramp between the mountainside and the airstrip, when you got to come up, is a terrible place to be to move into the action. I mean, just looking at some of the damage here, I'll take a look at Chorus, who is... Yeah, he's lost the torso.
Yep. So in that case, a good positioning decision by Ace's Wild.
Definitely, for sure. I mean, you look at Summer's in great shape, Alex and the other Mad Cat's in great shape, just, a little yellow on the inside.
Yeah. They're still fresh. They could still go out and do another 6 hours work in that mech.
Gathered enough resources. This
And that's
triumph
another
will
good win for
provide
Ace's
us
Wild.
huge tactical benefits.
basically giving them the 3-1 lead so far. So we'll see what 228 does in the flip, see how they decide to make strategy against to try and take that 5th drop. Ooh, man, yeah, run me through those damage numbers. Hot diggity.
All right, well, you have a look at those damage numbers while I swap these two teams over. They're going to switch sides on the same map. Play that out again, and we will see.
You're going to make me do 2 things at once? I mean, I'm looking at Chorus in that Mad 2C with 820 damage. I mean, those are phenomenal numbers, as well as TX Ace in that Arctic Wolf, my bad, with 502. And I can't remember, I never got a good look at him, but I believe he had streaks, because he was doing a lot of work on those Wolfhound 2s when he was chasing them. I mean, on the 228 side, we got Chorles in that quick draw with 416 damage. And up there with the Marauder 2Cs that just never got a chance to put in work, with the max being 263. They just, just what Aces Wild did with the tonnage definitely worked out in their favor, bringing those Mad Cats.
Very nice. All right, let's get these teams switched around, and we'll play out our final map on our final match on hold on a second. Our final match on River City. It'll be interesting to see if we get a little turnabout this time from
there's a lot better team damage numbers this time. A lot less total drinks managed, so it's good to see. 16 being the highest number of team damage on the Aces Wild side and covering the highest in the game of that match. So, but yeah, they stripped a lot of components on the Aces Wild side. 44525 021 like that, compared to the 2202 003 on 228 side. That's a lot more components, a lot more guys being stripped. It's a dang good decision on their side. Just a good choice of mechs in my mind. But
good choice of mechs, but again, I think positioning was really good on this one, and some just unfortunate decisions.
It's a tough place to be if you lose the caps up there, but if you can hold, if you get Theta and hold it, and you hold the Epsilon one in Upper City, you can definitely hold the map. But like I said, 228 needed to make that push to save some face with their Wolfhounds being, 1 was destroyed, 2 being definitely hurt. They had to do something, and pushing that rush was what they did, and it just did not work in their favor. And I will update the kills.
Oh wait, well, going into the 5th and final match, again, I'm just interested to see. This is also an interesting match. Obviously, the teams make their decisions before coming out here as to what mechs they're going to bring, because you have that 3 mech limit for all 5. So if you've brought your assassins, which they already have, you have no more assassins left. So you now have to bring something else. Lots of choices, though, in the mechs. I mean, we just have so many chassis now. This type of battle, you couldn't do this a few years ago. You just didn't have the mechs to switch them all around like that. So it's nice to see we have so many choices, and this tournament really forces the teams to use different
it definitely
mechs.
gives you the opportunity to play a lot of mechs. You have to definitely maximize the mechs, good mechs that you want to use, and keep the ones that you don't need. So, which, as compared to the World Tournament, even in the stock form, a lot of mechs that you wanted to bring, you couldn't. So, this definitely brings out a lot of interesting, even compared to the MRBC, this style and the Battle for Midway style, brings a big change. Like I said, when they brought the triple assassin, triple linebacker, CERM builds, the damage that they put down, it does too much work too fast. It's a hard thing to fight against.
Yeah. One of the advantages of having those, the tanky mechs are great. They can put out a great big alpha, but those lighter mechs, those faster mechs, that faster heavy gets in there so quickly. You're still waiting for, they've got, 5 alphas off before the assaults even get in there, those slower mechs. So it actually is quite a bit of damage. They just have to make sure that when they go in, they don't take a lot of damage and go down.
Although I haven't seen any Javelins in this match yet. Javelins being another decent mech to bring for the CERM build. Can't remember which one it is now, but
True.
they'll have to bring the Wolfhounds, obviously, which are a decent mech to bring, but they're very hot at times.
True. I've been running my Guitaro lately. Had a little bit of reminiscing, and quite
How
enjoyed
dare
it
you
actually.
bring out old Intersphere mechs from the dead.
I just, you know what? It's just a gorgeous mech. I have this nice little stick with a drill on it that serves absolutely no purpose, but sometimes you just have to put bolt-ons on your on your mechs for no
Well, yeah,
particular
I
reason.
can't remember who it was. He noticed watching the 228 Blackwatch versus Black Omen match last night. The one pilot there, he had the flag plus he had some other junk on the wings and the flag on his mech because they got the flag from the tournament win. Just on his mech, it was just like they didn't care. Like I think because I believe it was the last match and they were pushing, so it just worked out where it didn't matter. There was spotting him made no difference. They knew he was coming.
Those flags though are absolutely freaking ridiculous. It's like, hello, look at me. I have flags. Not only am I vain, but I'm foolish at the same time. I know.
It's putting
I have
yourself in
them
hard
too.
mode, that's for sure.
Okay. It is.
Although 228 Blackwatch players and other top 3 world champions alike can put a flag on their mech, let them know where they are, because they're good enough to. If you want to come 1v1 me or push me, you'll know. I wouldn't push Bowser 1v1. You're risking things there.
No, I definitely wouldn't. All right, so we're in our final match number 5 with 228 Death from Above, Aces Wild, the 3rd Battalion, the Black Aces, and we have our dropships flying in with our mechs. And again, the teams have switched sides, so we'll have to see how that changes the strategy.
Yeah, let me run you through a 228. It has not. Taking one out of the other book, they have brought 3 Mad Cat 2Cs. Commando, the Hellbringer Prime, the Arctic Wolf, and the Quick Draw, and a Piranha. So they have brought a good mix of Daka and just mechs that can shred armor. What do you have on the Aces Wild side?
Looking over at Aces Wild, we're seeing another Bushwhacker showing up. Again, that Piranha, Blood Asp, Orion, Hunchback, Warhammer, so that's 2 Blood Asp they're bringing in, and a Mist Lynx. So an interesting mix of mechs, and the teams are on the ground, and let's have a look and see where they're going here.
Why does it feel like they put their mechs in the wrong place? Unless they wanted to go high. Because they are just way out there, like... I don't know, it feels like a weird spot. But, maybe they're taking High City, and that's what they want to do. Not a bad place to be. Because they obviously assumed that... they knew 228 was taking the high road as well on the airstrip, so... Core sitting here way in the back with the Hunchback 2CA. Bringing those 2 ER large and 6 ER mediums.
It's an amazingly fast capping match. And what we're seeing here over near Epsilon, Aces Wild hanging out in the back here. It's kind of interesting. You've got these 5 mechs just hanging out in the back. They've picked up a couple cap points, and
yeah, their lights are trying to take
here.
Capo away from 228, but they're not going to have a good time now. Basically being even with the 2 lights on either side hanging out over there. So they were obviously going to try to have a strike fight across airstrip to High City.
Yeah, looking at some of we've got some, they've definitely got some long-range weapons over here. So they're I can see that they're going to try and make use of those in this battle. It's going to be interesting.
A beautiful strike.
Yep, definitely. Oh! And we've got a push coming across in the back here from Epsilon over Gamma. Aces Wild going in on 228. I think that they don't want to find themselves... I wouldn't be surprised if they're thinking they don't want to find themselves in the positions that 228 found themselves in last time, which was taking advantage of that really nice location around Gamma, where you've got the top, And if somebody's trying to push into you, you're shooting down on them, and they have the disadvantage of they're forced through a couple of different points. So they're just pushing in right behind here,
Yeah,
right
and
off the bat.
228's in a way better position this time around. Keldabeski just getting obliterated with some freaking ultra AC fire. So I believe they are trying to find a better way to spread out here.
Yep. Yeah, that is the advantage of holding the top in this particular area. You know where they're coming in. And we've got Aces Wild. You can see them little hesitancy trying to get into this area, but they're just taking so much fire that they just can't get that position. You don't want to go in that tunnel. That's just a death trap down there.
Hectic with definitely
But you're having to
getting hurt with that 51 damage. Oh, Texace in the back here with the Piranha too. Oh, getting just one shot in the back. That is not a good place to be. He could have did some nice work down there if they had opened up some armor on these 228 mechs, but
yeah, both sides seem to be satisfied with their cap decisions. Now they're just going to fight it out and see who's tougher. Hectic moving right into the middle, and it's a bad decision. His mech is just too far down. That Orion goes down. Karath is bringing his Arctic Wolf in right into the back here, going after Jalek in the Warhammer. A brave move from that smaller mech.
Yeah, he was trying to finish off Jalek. Like I said, he is in a bad place with Draxdagon and Keldabeski, although he's in a good position to distract them because now the 228 moves in.
Oh, flying through the air, though. He makes himself a little pinata, and everybody takes a shot. He's down.
Theta is controlled by the enemy.
Ace is Wild, really feeling the pain of that position taken up by 228. 228 moving over to this side now, trying to keep pushing Aces and keep them from taking that top. Tofurky in the water, just beaten with his Piranha, beating up that Bushwhacker, and both of them go down.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I've been wondering where Chorus is, because he's close, but just not close, but he is on this rock over here towards Theta, just putting fire down range when nobody was paying attention to him. But now that Chortles is there and everyone knows where he is, he's going to be, as he's 65%, he is not going to be here for very long.
Yeah, that's right. The teams have switched positions. The tables have turned, and what was working for Aces in the last round is now working for 228. The 228 knows they've got it now. They're just moving in for the final kills. Chorus is badly damaged and down now. Drax, the final mech there, and 228 will just hunt him down and finish this off. He's actually out on Kappa, so they're probably going to pick up some caps while they go hunting for that last.
Yeah, and since they already have the cap lead, I do not see, with a 6-1 gain advantage with the mechs, I don't see Aces Wild having a chance with this one. So this will be a 2-2-8 win, but still leaving Aces Wild up 3-2 in the game. So
Kappa is under enemy control.
Yeah, still Draxdagon's still not taking anything for granted, fighting until the end, picking up Kappa, slivering it, and moving out, kind of investigating a little bit, seeing if he can pick up another cap point and take advantage. But unfortunately, they're just too far down for it's just him out there.
He's taking the long way around, so it'll be a while before they get to finish this match. We'll probably have to wait out the timer because it doesn't look, unless he goes to Gamma and tries to fight. Who is up there? Kaya Morphine.
I don't know about that. He's going into, he's currently going out to Gamma, and
Smart move by Kaya, just hanging there.
He's going to be running into Morphine here. Oh, who's just waiting for him. He's just hanging out by the building, waiting for him to come in. And you can see that Mislinks is coming in. I don't know if he can see Morphine, if he knows he's up here. He's currently flying. He's looking all around. And he's just landed on top of the same building. He drops down. He's about to take it in the back. Oh, painful. Painful. Yeah, and he's down. He's going to drop down 18%, and this is going to be it for him. Oh, 16%. He's just dragging it out. And he's down. And some strong, strong games by both of these teams, really
Yeah.
evenly matched. But in the end, it's going to go to aces.
Yeah, again, some nice damage numbers on both sides. This time, 228 finally making the heavy numbers with 700 damage from Whiskey Tango in that Mad Cat 2C, as well as 500 from Keldebeski in that Blood Ass 501. That was a nice one. I liked the way 228 held on that back position in the on the goddamn freaking airplane tarmac, freaking shitty place.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, they learned their lesson from the first round, and they saw how well that worked for aces, and they decided to take advantage when it was their turn. So they got into that position. Aces had some, good ideas. They were going to take the top over on the other side near Epps, and but they basically just with 228 holding their ground, they really had to address that.
Yeah, it definitely sucked for them having to come up and push. They might have pushed a bit early, not with all their mechs either, because they did leave 2 mechs in the back. But I believe that they didn't have a bad idea. They wanted to push and have some guys in the back who could still put fire down range on enemies that were still available to see, but it just did not work out that way for them. So, change, dang you. There we go. Yeah, another good match. Not a lot of total drinks. Or team damage, sorry, on either side. But yeah.
Total drinks managed.
228 taking the win on this one, which was nice. But yeah, just solid numbers. Solid component destructions on the 228 side, as to Aces Wild, who just did not have an easy time pushing up and pushing into 228 off that bridge side, so...
Yeah, and I'm wondering, if they had been a little bit more aggressive and coming up over the top there, they might have overwhelmed 228, possibly. But the position that they found themselves in, they were being a little bit cautious, not going in to address all the fire, because 228 was so nicely set up in there. And so they didn't take the chance, which is looks like the smart thing to do, but unfortunately in this case just didn't pay off for them.
I don't know if either team is coming to talk to us, since they left pretty frickin' fast.
Yes, well, they've got some total drinks to manage. That's right, they got lots of drinks
on the table here. So let us run the giveaway before anything else happens, before I forget. For 500 MC. 500, sorry.
500 MC? I was like 50. Wow, man. That would be 500.
Take a look at this list. Nice set of 100 people watching, at least half being bots, but that's fine.
We always like those bots, don't we,
They need money too, right? They got
robots
families,
need love too.
Gonna. We just don't know yet.
Yes. They want to be loved
by
you.
Let's start this up. See who wants 500 MC.
Hey! I'm so tempted to drop in some of my bad robot jokes, but we'll let it go.
You had some earlier.
Let it go. Yes. I did have some really bad ones earlier.
And who is it gonna be? Could it be? Nope. It is the Scruffinator. Scruffinator, holler at me, System Belmont, in the Twitch chat. Or find
Congratulations,
one of the mods. You can come
Scruffinator.
find me. They'll let you know. Or I'll hunt you down. I'm gonna hunt you down, because I need to give this stuff away. Can't hold on to this stuff forever. So, Scruffinator, in chat, find me. I could say something, I guess, but I'm System Belmont.
I think you're going to have to, because people are still trying to enter
there's
the
a lot.
giveaway.
There's other giveaways that we were doing in chat, so...
Oh, excellent.
There, put my name in there. You can find me, hopefully. Yep.
System Belmonte?
Did we tell them where to go?
Excellent.
I feel like I'm going to have to message these guys directly. Since no one is showing up in the chat. But, I mean, hey, let's take a look at those numbers anyways. I mean... Oh, of course I gotta wait for the stinger. Yeah, 30 kills on the Aces Wild side with the 3-2 win over 228 with the 24. Still a good, solid match by both teams. I mean, nice and even across the first and second place team, with now Aces Wild taking first place. This should be exciting to see for the rest of Div D. See what happens with the other teams and where these guys end up.
That's true. I wonder if they'll end up facing each other again.
Because Whiskey... Okay, Whiskey knows. He said he'd come. Still
Excellent.
waiting for Hectic to say something. But while we wait, the next upcoming match is actually in a few hours. So we have Curl on TV hosting the Blackthorn versus Cameron Highlanders Div C match. So, I mean, you could stick around. You might as well. It's only 2 hours from now, basically.
It's only 2 hours from now. How much is that?
That's at least
Belmont?
10, 15 drinks managed, so...
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some orange juice for the first couple, and after that,
you
a
gotta play
little
it
root
safe,
beer.
right?
Yeah, you never want to drink
so
scotch
pay attention
at
to
night.
that. That'll be up here in a few hours, and then keep on this channel to find out when the next matches will be popping up, as they will be popping up pretty soon with all the teams. I'm doing one giveaway soon, I know that. The other matches will be posted up soon, so keep eyes out. And they still haven't... Damn it, do I need to tell them where to go to?
Oh, that delay. It works so well for some things.
If they don't hurry up, we're just going to shut her down. I'd like to talk to one of them.
Whiskey Foxtrot.
There he is. Pull him in. Nope. Why does that not work for me? It doesn't. Can you pull him in? What?
Doesn't work for me either. Nope.
Hooray.
All right, let's go up to General. Here we go.
Hello, sir. Not too much.
Hey, what's
Great
up?
matches tonight. I was happy to see the nice two teams at close matches.
Yeah, Aces Wild did really good.
So you guys, since I'm trying to get organized here, that first match did not go well for you guys.
No, not at all.
You have that dire wolf that went down right away. That must have been hard.
Yeah, it was an unlucky headshot, but things happen, right?
Not that, because I assumed, you guys wanted that corner push really hard, and then after losing that dire wolf, what were things going for you guys? Because I believe, I can't remember who else was the other dire, not the dire, god damn it, whatever the other mech that was right there too was damaged pretty badly. But after the dire wolf going down, what was your guys' thoughts?
So what we tried to do was deploy a fire in line right there. We tried to unmask our guns at the same time, but it just didn't work. The PPCs from those Warhawks were able to quickly CT the second direwolf, and then the Annihilator there.
There we go. Nice and organized now, finally. Sorry. So, I mean, it was nice to see that you guys came back in drop 2, because you guys had the nice 2 wins after that. So, what happened to the difference of team drop 2?
Yeah, drop 2 and 3 seem to be really heavy on just an all-out brawl for both sides.
Yeah, we were able to take drop 2. I think that was we just focused fire a little bit better. Still a lot of work to do on that. But then in drop 3, we dropped that one, and that was because we got isolated in 1v1s. We weren't working together quite as effectively, and so Aces Wild was able to pick off mechs a lot quicker than we were.
It was really close all the way through, and that was kind of the thing. I guess in the match that you won, you really were successfully focusing fire, whereas in the one after that, it can start going really quickly into those 1 versus 1s because everybody's fighting for their life.
Yeah, I remember in drop 3 they were very heavy on the assassins and linebackers, which was not a good mix for. I believe you guys brought the Griffins. Am I right on that? All right, I'm not drunk.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
we had 2 Griffins.
I just, from the way it looked like to me, they came to brawl. They came to brawl really, really hard with those mechs, and like you said, I don't know if the difference in DPS and just focus fire, there was no. you guys didn't have a good drop in that one.
No, not as quite as good as one
So then
before.
going into drop 4.
So we were trying to do like a. We expect them to be in the airport, which they set up there. Nice. So our initial plan was the Wolfhounds holding an Echo 5 in that upper city, and then while the main body did an end around put, starting with the hotel golf line, using the cover of the city to kind of flank that airport position.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
we saw you coming around the far right. The Wolfhounds seemed to get into a little bit of trouble though, because they were getting quite a bit of fire on them.
Yep, you're right. And then our Wolfhounds got decisively engaged a little bit too early, and then at that point, our main body was too far to support.
Yeah,
so Ace's Wild was able to effectively eliminate those Wolfhounds, and at that point, we were fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, and it was unfortunately, just took a long time to get around on that right flank, and by the time you got up there, you were down just a few too many. That changed in the last one, though. That changed in the last battle.
Yeah, last battle we actually we followed our strategy. We executed it effectively. They did what we thought they were going to do, pushing that Echo line. And because I thought they would bring a little bit more of a brawly deck, we set up on that back line to try to use our Mad Cats the most effective.
Yeah, it definitely worked out.
It worked really well. The interesting thing I found was, that moment when they realized they really did need to go to you, and they crossed the water, and they never quite made it up on the platform. So I could see that. I mean, you basically had your team in that nice position, and it looked like they really needed to get up there. They really wanted to get up there, but you just kept firing on them. You just made it too intimidating for them.
Yeah, it's tough to crawl out of that ramp from the water.
Yeah, because it was basically the complete opposite, technically, of the other drop, where you guys came up the other side and they had the firing lines on the far round side, and then they came up the other side. You guys were set up perfect for them, so. But congratulations. I mean, you guys didn't win, but you came out with 2 wins, a decent amount of kills. So, I mean, it was still a good showing. Like you said, strategy didn't work in drop 4, but it definitely worked in drop 5. So, not too much in my mind to work on. Even like you say, your brawls were just the first time it worked out well.
Yeah, we just got to get back to the basics.
A little bit more focus fire and stuff, and I think you got it pretty set. So.
But definitely a pleasure to watch. 2 teams that are, definitely giving each other a good fight. That was really great to watch. Thank you for that.
Hey, no problem.
So we'll let you go. Get back to the team, do your AAR report.
All right, sounds good. Take care, y'all.
Take care.
So that seems to be it for anyone coming. So I guess we should say not good night, but good night.
Well, that's its system. We just have to let it go now, don't we? It's over.
Right.
It's over now.
So I'd like to thank Aces Wild
Right.
for having us, and 228 Death from Above for letting us host. And like I said, stay around for the next match in a few hours. I'd love to thank my co-host Violet Blue for joining me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No problem.
Always
Stick
a
around,
pleasure.
watch and keep your eyes out for more matches. I guarantee you I'll be around more, and Blue will probably be doing a few more co-hosting at least, so we'll be around.
Sounds good. Take
Have a
care,
good night.
everybody.